Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am so happy you are here. I am Kalonda Casey, and I am 63 years old, almost 64, and this channel was designed for women 50, 60, 70, and beyond. And in today's video, we are doing makeup under $20. So everything you see on my face right now is under $20, and I think it turned out so pretty. Before we move on, I would love it if you would like this video, leave a comment, share it, save it for future use, and just interact with me. It would mean so much to me. So let's push in and let's get started. The first product I'm going to use today is the Lock It Down Eyeshadow Primer by e.l.f. Cosmetics. And I have to tell you, when I first started playing with this product, I wasn't really sure. It goes on extremely oily feeling. And I thought, no way is that going to work. But it does dry down. But as I have told you before, the reason I like to use a eyeshadow primer with a tint to it is because I have very dark eyelids, and I like to camouflage all of that before I put on any eyeshadows so that my eyeshadows will look the way they are meant to look. Now, this product does not do that, and I have to let this sit for a little bit, and then I will powder over it. Now, in today's video, I am not using drugstore powder. I have tried so many of the brands and they just do not work for me. So I'm sticking to powder that I know and love. And that is the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur powder. And it works beautifully on my mature eyelids. I really recommend using a powder after you use an eyeshadow primer. And some people say, well, why don't you just use concealer? To me, concealer is very drying, and I do not feel like I get the same results when I'm using a eyelid primer, an eyeshadow primer. I want to talk about these eyeshadows that were sent to me in PR, and I have to tell you, they are so lovely. They are by L'Oreal, and they are called the Eyeshadow Stick. Now, these are each $10, and I like to use 3 eyeshadows. So that would be $30, and that's a lot of money for 3 eyeshadows. But since I'm trying to show you all how pretty this product is, I'm going to combine it in with the Sephora collection Precious Gemstones. That's what this palette is called, and I think this is lovely. This palette is about $16, and let me tell you, a lot of times the Sephora collection items go on sale, so you can get them for like $12, which I think is really nice for a palette this size. Okay, I'm going to start with this as a transition color. Oh, somebody needs to take care of their eyebrows. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize they were so messy. I need to get in there and take care of the stray hairs. Oh well. Boy, that's a lot darker than I thought it would. But let me blend it. It's really pretty. Very pretty. This eyeshadow stick right here is called Alluring Rose. And I am just going to apply it onto my movable eyelid. And what I like to do with shadow sticks is to use my finger to tap them in. Now this is matte, but that's fine. I like that, and I think it'll be really pretty with this whole look. And don't worry, I'll be adding some shimmer. crease. And I do think with shadow sticks, you need to do one eye at a time, one section at a time, or they will dry down really quick and then you can't blend them. Okay, I am using the A502 brush by Angie Hot and Flashy from BK Beauty. So then I'm going to take this really pretty taupe. This palette would be so pretty on a bride or a mother of the bride. The Sephora collection eyeshadows are so nice. Look how pretty that is. Let me blend. This is the A503. Oh, that's lovely. How pretty that is. Love that. These brushes are just meant for our mature eyes. They just seem to go wherever we want them. You really do a good job. So, today I'm using the Milani Make It Last setting spray. Let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm using that shimmer from the palette, and I'm just tapping it right here onto this removable eyelid. So it gives it some interest and some light reflection, which is really pretty on mature eyelids. That is very pretty. I wanted to let you all know, I have had a couple of people comment. I wouldn't say it's in a negative way. I think it's just, they're just being direct, that the most important thing about makeup is the skin prep. Well, I do a lot of my skin prep before I ever come on camera. So yes, I am doing skin prep. And yes, I agree, skin prep is super important. I keep a damp disposable washcloth right by my makeup when I'm applying it on or off camera. It just helps to keep everything in check. I can wash my hands so I don't transfer other products onto my skin, which I have done, and I'm sure we have all done that. Let me look at my big mirror. What I see is that this area just seems dark. So what I'm doing is I am taking the lightest shade in this palette and I am just going over that area. And then I will just keep blending all of that to soften the look. That's the reason I always do my eyes first. I do not want the fallout from the product getting on my face if I have foundation on. That is number one. Number two, I can keep going back as I am applying makeup on my face and make any changes at that point with my eyes. Okay, that softened it a lot. So I'm going to put this aside for now. I may be coming back for it in a little bit. So I've already primed my face. I have my SPF on, but let me tell you, your setting spray, you can use that as your primer. I have done it in a pinch, but you can definitely do that. And by the way, this is a huge bottle. They normally do not come in this size, but Milani did send this to me. Today, I am using the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, and I have used this before. I hope this color is good. If it's not, might be. I might have to do a couple things to make it work. I do not know if you've heard a lot of things about this foundation, but people love it. And they have compared it to House Labs, the Triclone Foundation. And I am a huge House Labs foundation person. And I had never really thought about it. So I'm going to see what I think today. It's not as luminous. House Labs has luminosity to it, but it's not overly luminous. It seems to me that it fades into my skin. So the color actually is good. I'm not opposed to the color. So you do get 1 fluid ounce. And like I said, it is everything I'm trying to use today is under $20. I feel like I need to add more. See, that's always the thing about drugstore makeup. I do feel like sometimes you do have to go in with more product. You may use more of it. Whereas with a high-end product, with House Labs, 1 pump covers my entire face. It looks really good. It has a nice feel to it. Does feel moisturizing, which is nice because I do have dry skin. Okay, now we're going to move on to eyebrows. I love the NYX Eyebrow Pencil, and they now have it in gray, which I really like. And then I am such a huge fan of the e.l.f. products. These are the e.l.f. Wow, and I have been saying all along that I have been using the color Blonde. No, I have been using taupe, and then I did buy a little bit of a darker color. So I am going to first start with the taupe. I think it helps to kind of soften the darker color. That's what I'm trying to say. These are $5 a tube, which is very reasonable. They last a very long time. And then this is the darker color. It's just nice to be able to have a brow product that goes on fast. On those days, you just do not have time. The only thing I do not like about this NYX product, and this happens all the time, is this part comes undone, and that drives me bananas. Also, the lead, I don't know what to call this. The product will break off, so I keep it tiny in right outside of the tube. I just go in and hit those areas where I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. You never know how bad your eyebrows look until you use a 10-time magnifying mirror. Oh my gosh. Then on the back side of this is a spoolie. And I always soften everything I've done with my brows. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to use a drugstore concealer today, very much against my will, because I am never happy with drugstore concealers. And yes, I have used the Maybelline Instant Rewind Eraser. I have used it on and off for, oh gosh, 10 years. And I've tried it, but I still love my Maxine's Revenge. I just love it. But I am going to try this today. It is a brand new tube, and I have to tell you, I think it's defective because the product started oozing out at the bottom of the sponge. And so it could just be a huge mess. So what I'm going to do is to take the product onto my finger from where the sponge is and rub it between my fingers and then apply it underneath my eyes. It's probably not enough product, but I'm going to start there. I'm just tapping it in just like I do all of my other concealers. I know that's not enough. See if I can. I really just don't want this to just spill out. Yeah, it's coming out the side. Ugh, so frustrating. I linked this little makeup mirror for you all so you can see it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's see. It's 10-time magnification on the side, and then it's regular, but it has lights, which on that side, which is really nice. Now, it's too big for my purse, but boy, I do love traveling with this, and it really, really does a great job. But what I'm going to do now is take some concealer and put it right here, because see, my eyelid primer normally takes care of that because it helps with the discoloration in that part of my eyelid. If you didn't see last week's video, I did color correction versus concealer, and we will make sure that that gets linked so you can go back and watch it. Okay, that looks a little better. I still don't know about the eyes, but I want to show you how bad that looks. It's like oozing out underneath. I think I'm going to have to take this back. If I'm going to showcase this, I don't want it to look messy and sloppy. All right, everybody knows I like to tightline my eyelids, and today I am using an e.l.f. eyeliner. And I've been doing this for years. People ask me what the trick is. And to me, it just takes practice. And just so you'll know, this eye is not ticklish. This eye is, and a lot of times it will water. So I have to work fast. This is a pretty good little eyeliner. It does transfer a little bit onto the lower waterline, but all in all, it's not bad. It's pretty good for the price. It's not expensive at all. As we all know, e.l.f. is not. I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I use a really good eyelash curler, and I just kind of squeeze the little handles here back and forth, and boy, does it make a difference. And I do one eye at a time. Now today I am using a mascara by Covergirl. It's called Exhibitionist Uncensored 24-hour wear, up to 24-hour wear, like who's wearing their mascara that long. Big, bold volume. So I've heard nice things about it. Because it's a new tube, you never know, what it's going to be like. The brush looks like a bristle brush. Oh my. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. That is impressive. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh my. You guys. I bet you know where I went shopping. Then you see this, right? CVS. That was $12.49. But let me say, that's a really reasonable price anymore for a drugstore mascara. I am so surprised at how expensive makeup is, but everything is expensive here. I was going to do this off camera, but I am so glad I decided to do it on camera so that you all could see the real time effect of this mascara. I'm pretty shook over this. It's amazing. And this set of eyelashes never look as good as this set. Because our eyes are sisters, they're not twins. It's just the nature of the beast. I'm still loving this mascara. Even though this is never going to be as pretty as this, but that's a good price and that's a really pretty mascara. So I'll have to see how it wears throughout the day, and I'll put that down in the comments. Wow, amazing. Okay, so now I want to go back in, and I'm going to take this color because it did go on darker than I thought it would. Yes, this is the right color. I did have a question about this, and I'm going to address it. The person asked how, when they apply the brown eyeliner down here underneath your eyes, how you can prevent it from showing your wrinkles and crinkles. Well, you can't. It just helps to camouflage it. Nothing is going to really hide those wrinkles and crinkles, especially if they're deep. But this is much better than applying something light underneath that area of your eye, because light attracts and dark deflects. Okay, so let me put a little bit of mascara underneath. See? Okay. Even my lower lashes look long. That's crazy. Okay, now I am going to apply the Physicians Formula Matte Minoy Butter Bronzer. Just kind of soften it. And the palm of my hand, I like to do that. Okay, bronzing with it. Really pretty. And then take it here along my jawline. Then down my neck. Get my earlobes. So important to get those earlobes, ladies. And by the way, that was the N15 brush. Love that brush. And another little tip and trick is to take a big fluffy brush after you apply powder products and cream products. You can do both. This is the BK Beauty 102, and I really do love doing that little technique. Kind of softens everything out, kind of gives that blurred effect. I am super excited to try this Lumi La Liquid Blush by L'Oreal, and the color is called Worth It, and I think this is so pretty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the back of my hand before I apply it to my face. I'm going to use the N17 brush, the liquid side. I'm going to tap this into my skin. And then apply it onto the face. This is a very peachy coral color. This particular product comes in several different shades. Some have illumination in them. Now this one's matte, so be careful when you're ordering. And everything is linked below, and I always link the products in the first comment as well. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, I think I can trust it enough to. I would be very leery to apply this straight to the face. If you do it, be super careful. Like, just put a little dot and build it. Yeah. See, I got way too much in that part of my face. Let me show you what you have to do when you make that kind of mistake. You have to go back in with a little bit of foundation to kind of cover the mistake. Everything is fixable in makeup. And believe me, I have had my share of putting makeup on and taking it off, washing it off and starting over. Who's had that issue before? Okay, this is a new lip liner. It's the Color Riche, and this one is, of course, by L'Oreal. And the name of this, I think, is Worth It. Again, I'm slightly overlining my lips. That feels so good going on. It just glides. Okay, and here is the lipstick by L'Oreal. This is all in their Glow Up line. It's so pretty. This one is called Worth It. Oh, it smells good. That is so pretty. It smells. I normally do not like scent in any makeup products, but that's lovely. I don't wear a lot of drugstore lipstick, but if I do wear drugstore lipstick, it's most of the time it's L'Oreal, but I don't remember my other lipsticks having a fragrance to them. Not at all. This is a beautiful makeup look. Now I'm going to fix my hair, put some jewelry on, finish up, and we'll do a recap. And I am back, but I did want to spray my face with the Make It Last Original by Milani, and this has a natural finish. Always do a warning shot to just make sure that a stream doesn't come out and plop onto your skin. I will say this is the best drugstore setting spray, without a shadow of a doubt. Anyway, so I'll just do a quick recap in no certain order. I am using the Covergirl Exhibitionist mascara today. Very nice product. I really like it. This is the Maybelline Instant Rewind Eraser. It's okay. As far as a drugstore concealer goes, this is probably the best on the market. I use the Physicians Formula Matte Minoy Bronzer. Very nice. And I use the e.l.f. Soft Glow Satin Foundation, and this was in the color 24. It's called Light Warm. And then for my blush, I used the Lumi, and this is a really pretty cream blush. And it seems to be staying on my cheeks, which is a win-win. For my lipstick, I used the L'Oreal, and very nice. And this was called Worth It. And then this is Worth It Medium, very pretty, the lip liner. And for the eyeshadow, I used the Sephora collection, and this one was called Precious Gemstones. So pretty. Would be beautiful on a bride or a mother of the bride, as I said earlier. And I used the e.l.f. Lock It Down eyeshadow primer. Very nice. Very, very nice. But if you have dark eyelids like I do, it's not the best. And I forgot, I used the Alluring Rose cream eyeshadow stick on my movable eyelid this is from L'Oreal. Very nice product. Very, very nice. I used the Wow Brow. I used it in taupe, and I think it's called Natural Brown. And I used the NYX Micro Brow in the color gray. Those are all really, really pretty. So that is what I used today. Now I am going to finish up by putting on a little setting powder like I normally do. I just have to cover those enlarged pores in this part of my face and on my chin. And I'm not going to go in underneath my eyes at all because I'm worried that this concealer could be too drying. So I'm going to skip that part today. All in all, I think the makeup turned out really pretty. And I did have a comment in my last video that just kind of got to me. They said their pet peeve is when somebody asks to link, share, like, comment, leave a comment. That's how we grow our channels on YouTube. And I'm sorry if it bothers you, but I'm trying to grow this community of like-minded women. And so just skip over it. Just don't watch that part. But I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, save the video for future use. And we are growing a community, and more of you are commenting, and I'm loving interacting with you. And if you have one of those usernames that's like numbers or whatever, when you leave the comment, please sign your name so that I will get familiar and can communicate with you on a first name basis. I would love that. With that being said, I am going to sign off, and I will see you the next time. Bye.